Hey, you. Yeah, you. Welcome to the Malaka podcast. Man's best friend. Well, for those of you who have never heard of that saying, it's obviously referring to dogs. Now, a lot of people that know me, that truly know me, know how I feel about dogs. I'm not the biggest fan of dogs, but I'm not against them either. But a lot of people just love dogs. They just love the joy they bring into their lives. They say man's best friend because a lot of people truly believe that. They believe that this animal can bring them such joy. Just a little simple pleasure in their life. Something as simple as you sitting alone on the couch and your dog coming up to you and just putting his head on your lap, and you just pet it and you look at him and he looks at you and he's probably thinking, buddy, I really got to take a shit. Do you mind just going outside in minus 25 weather at 3 a.m. and just put the drink down for 2 seconds and just let me just destroy your neighbor's lawn? But hey, I mean, that's just me. You know, that a lot of people think that's a great way to live. Me personally, no. I remember Jerry Seinfeld once said that if the aliens ever come down here, they're going to be very confused because we're picking up the animal shit. So, aren't they the ones in charge? So you got to think of it like that. But what are you going to do? Some people love them, some people hate them, some people don't mind them. That's me. Now I'm going to tell you two great stories later on in this podcast, why I feel this way about dogs. And you'll see my perspective. And I'm sure a lot of people have been through these two things before. But before I do that, let's go to a good old Wikipedia and let's see what they have to say on the matter. So it says here the average domestic dog is a subspecies of the wolf. No surprises there. For the most part, they are carnivores. Again, no surprises there. Pretty much so am I, so we got that in common. The dog and the extant gray wolf are sister taxa, which I have no idea what that is. As modern wolves are not closely related to the wolves that were first domesticated, which implies that the direct ancestor of the dog is extinct. Well, shit happens. Anyways, the dog was the first species to be domesticated and has been selectively bred over millennia for various behaviors, sensory capabilities, and physical attributes. Their long association with humans has led dogs to be uniquely attuned to human behavior, and they are able to thrive on a starch-rich diet that would be inadequate for other canid species. Dogs vary widely in shape, size, and colors. They perform many roles for humans, such as hunting, herding, pulling loads, protection, assisting police, and military, companionship, and, more recently, aiding disabled people, and therapeutic roles. This influence on human society has given them the sobriquet of man's best friend. And it's true. If you think about it, dogs have done a lot for us. But a lot of people still don't like them. But a lot of people just can't live without them. One thing I'd like to say, though, and I gotta say this right off the bat here. I mean, this is some fascinating stuff so far. But one thing I gotta say is I can't stand people that have dogs and they always say they're the best behaved dogs. And then when they do something stupid, they go, oh my God, he's never done this before. I don't know what's got him all riled up. He's a fucking dog. That's what's got him riled up. It's just an animal instinct. I'll give you a perfect example. So I got a buddy of mine. He's got a, cool little bulldog there, tough dogs, obviously. We'll get into that a little bit. But he comes home one day and his place looks like World War III. All the couch cushions are ripped up, all the fluff, the flowers are all over the place, and I'm assuming he had very nice flowers on the table. Marks all over the place, there's scratches, and the dog, he knows what he did wrong. He's just sitting there, he's got like literally the puppy dog eyes, which is a strategy that I think to this day, dogs know exactly what the fuck they're doing, because they know when they fuck up. They just put on their eyes, and they just make the whimpering sound, like Dino did in the Flintstones, like, and we're supposed to just fall for that shit. And I'm like, you know what? This is bullshit. Like, like we can't leave you alone for a couple hours, like we get it, you're going to have some of your, well, I guess they're called bitches, right? Yeah. Cause a female dog is a bitch. Yeah. So, okay. And, we know you're going to have your fun there, but all we ask is that you keep the place clean. You gotta keep it respectful. You can't just willy-nilly all over the place and, have beer cans and lines of kibbles and bits all over the place and just think you can get away with this shit. No. We're paying for you to stay here. We're paying for all these vet bills and food, and even as I'm saying this, I'm like, this is bullshit, because the dog has no idea what the fuck I'm saying. It's like these people that take their dogs to vacation spots, and they think, oh my God, no, he knows that he's in a different country. He has no fucking idea, nor does he care. It doesn't matter. Okay. And I'll tell you something right now too. That one story was a couple months ago or whatever, when they had that dog on the air flight there. That's what I call airplanes, air flights. And, they would not let the dog stay with the couple above. And I'll be honest with you, like, I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. Like, the problem with a lot of people is that, obviously they're allergic to dogs. They don't know how to react to certain dogs. Most people are friendly. But, if you have a really big dog, obviously it has to be contained. You have to put it in a kennel, But what happened in this case was, I think the dog was too big and it needed, like special needs or something like that. And, the dog apparently, I think it like suffocated or something. And like you hear that shit and you're like, holy fuck, like how the hell does that happen? Like this sucks. Like this should never, ever happen, So, I mean, if like for the most part, I obviously if you can, figure out a safe way to ship pets, do it, I always think of that one scene in Commando, he like gets up, he's like, oh, sir, you can't get, I'm airsick. And I don't like, I mean, back then they had the worst security, I guess. But like, he's just like ripping through walls and shit. And like like I think it was like a Doberman or something like that, and like the dog's just like barking right in front of like Arnold's face, and and that's like a perfect example. I mean, like, yeah, certain dogs, yeah, like, I mean, like they don't know how they're gonna react to the sound of the planes and shit like that, and they gotta be like contained, of course, but at the same time, don't treat them like shit. I mean, they gotta be, comfortable, and just make sure they're, I'm not gonna say treated like humans, I guess, but I mean, but then again, like a lot of people would argue, yeah, they should be treated like humans. I mean, do I feel like that? I mean, sort of, but at the same time, like it is an animal. I mean, if you're asking me if a dog is more important than a human, you're fucking crazy. Okay, it's not. I'm sorry, it's just the way it is. Okay, well, it's more important than like OJ or Robert Blake or, some assholes. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, in general, you gotta make sure that the humans are first in line here, But that's not to say that that gives you the right to disrespect dogs, okay? All right? Like, we don't need another fucking Michael Vick on our hands, okay? Now, if you don't know who Michael Vick is, I mean, that's good, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So, I don't follow football. Apparently, he was a football player. The odds of making it into any professional sport, especially certain sports like the NFL, because a lot of these guys, I've heard for the most part, they only have a 5-year window of playing the sport if they're lucky, assuming their brain doesn't turn to shit after 10,000 hits. I don't care how big that helmet is. I mean, you're going to get knocked out. It doesn't matter, I mean, it's like literally getting hit by a train, I remember that scene in Any Given Sunday where Dennis Quaid is talking about, yeah, man, the first time I got hit in the NFL, oh my God, it was like a bucket. I thought I was going to die, And it's true. Like, I mean, ironically, a lot of these guys are like dogs, man. They'll just like fucking attack you, like without thinking. Like, they don't give a shit. I mean, it's just a, like when you're on the field, it's just a territorial thing, like dogs. But anyways, so this guy would literally set up dog fights. Now, keep in mind, I heard this guy had like a $30 million contract, okay? So on some sick level, you are a star in the NFL. You get as many women as you want. You get as much money as you want. Endorsements up the ass. Like, just fucking everything is given to you. When you're not on the field, you could spend the rest of your life on your back. That's it. But this guy had such a hunger for being I'm assuming this guy must be a psychopath. I mean, to arrange dog fights, where, obviously one dog would have to die in the fight. I mean, they would place bets and all this shit. And, and then even when a dog I heard was like really injured, like allegedly they would just kill the dog, and not in a, nice way. I mean, I don't know if there's a nice way to kill a dog, but, like it would just be absolutely inhumane. And, I'm just like, what kind of life did you live to fucking like do this to an animal? I mean, like I said, like, I'm not the biggest fan of dogs, but I've never hurt an animal. I would never hurt an animal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's just insane. Like, it really is. So, they always say that certain dogs, let's say like a pit bull, always have bad, just reputations of being, like tough or violent or angry, and that's bullshit. I mean, it's like anybody else, Again, it's like humans. How you grow up and what you are, part of your environment, whatever, that's how you're going to be. It doesn't matter. So I personally don't like the fact that certain dogs do get that rep, And, again, you see them in a lot of like music videos or movies and stuff like that. And you just assume, they're just going to attack you. And guys, let's keep in mind, these are trained dogs on set. They know what they're doing. Has there been an incident here and there? I'm sure there has been, but you can't think like that. You can't just think, okay, like you see, a certain type of dog and they're going to act like that. That's almost like a form of racism, isn't it? I mean, like, think about it. Like, again, like humans, like you see somebody and you think, okay, that person's going to act the way, like this, or you've heard things about that. It's bullshit. So all I'm saying is, if you have a dog and no matter, what your lifestyle is, just make sure you treat them the way you want to be treated, because that dog will hurt. I mean, my mom told me one time when she was visiting Greece, they would find dogs all the time on the street, and people just abandon them. Like, that is just fucking humane, man. Like, how the fuck can you just abandon an animal? Just throw it on the street like it's fucking garbage. That's how my one aunt, I'm pretty sure she found her dog. Just found him on the street, seemed hungry and thirsty, I guess, and, no signs of, nobody said anything, so you just assume, I mean, the dog is on his own, you know? It's crazy, man. I don't understand how someone could do that. I mean, worst case scenario, like they have these things called, well, in Toronto, we have these things called Humane Society. And you bring your dog there, you know, if you want to give it up for adoption or if you want to buy a dog. I'm not sure how it works. I got to be honest with you. I don't care to do the research. The point is, you know, if you can't take care of a dog, you know, don't. But at the same time, just don't treat it like garbage, you know, just don't like throw it away. I mean, fuck, man. I mean, that is just horrible. Horrible. I don't know how someone can live with themselves doing that. Like, I've never understood that. And then there's like situations where people have like a rare breed of dogs and they just want to like steal them from other owners, and they hear if they breed them with other dogs, they're worth money. And I saw a thing with 2 Chainz there. 2 Chainz is a rapper. He used to be called Titty Boy. I like both names. I don't care. But you know, like there's dogs for sale, you know, for 50 grand, 25 grand, 100 grand. I mean, whatever. I mean, if you're stupid enough to pay that much for a dog, you know, we can get it for free, sure. But, you know, it's like these people that buy dinosaur heads, you know, for whatever, millions of dollars, and you can see the shit free in a museum. But, I mean, you know, do what you gotta do, I guess. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they shit out diamonds. I don't know. Maybe you reach a certain point in a dog's life, you know. And that's another thing with dogs. Like, you have to, like a dog could be 6, and then for some reason it could be really 87. You know, it's always that much older. So I assume the average lifespan for a dog is, I don't know, let's say 10 to 15 years maybe. I mean, if they're lucky, you know. Have you ever seen like a really old dog? You know, like just they just don't feel like doing shit. You know, again, it's like humans. You know, we get to a point where we just stop giving a fuck. You know, we got all this energy, and then all of a sudden we're just, you know, we get our asses up to eat, go to the bathroom, and then we end up on the couch again. That's it. It's that simple. Circle of life, even for dogs. Doesn't matter. I like to talk now about the. I'm having fun here, actually, talking about dogs. I didn't know I knew so much about dogs. But anyways, here's a list according to PetMD.com, and here are the top 10 dogs that people should have as pets. Number 10, the bulldog. Now I look at the bulldog, and you know, I don't know. Is it just me? Like when you look at a bulldog, like doesn't it remind you of Gordon Ramsay's face? You know, like a little bit, like kind of wrinkly, and like he's not really that old, but his face looks like an old catcher's mitt. You know what I mean? Like I'm not dissing him. Don't get me wrong. Like I love that dude. I'm just fucking around. But I mean, yeah. I mean they kind of got like the wrinkly skin and stuff, and I don't know. Like again, they're always these dogs that are always like smiling and, you know, for the most part pretty happy, and, you know, they got kind of like a pudgy exterior, and, you know, they kind of have like skin where, I don't know, they kind of look like Al Sharpton, you know, like after he lost all the weight, it looks a little loose, but it's still kind of hanging on there, and I don't know, they look like fun dogs. Then you got beagles. Beagles, I think a lot of people use these for hunting, no? Don't they? I think. Maybe? I don't know. Again, you know, they seem like a very clean-cut animal. You know, play fetch with them, you know. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, it says hunting. Yeah, I was right. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, because I don't know, they like every time you watch these old movies, you know, about the, I don't know, the Civil Wars and shit. I don't know, for some reason, like in the backyard, all these people have big backyards for some reason, and I don't know, they just go hunting, and the beagles are there because, I don't know, they got nothing else to do. I don't know, there was no internet. And, yeah, they're just, you know, having fun, you know. It's cool. Bull Terrier. Now, this is a cool, like, a Bull Terrier, it's weird because, like, you look at the body, and I don't know if it's just me, but, like, does the body match the head? Like, it's, I don't know, it looks off. It looks like it's being photoshopped or something. I don't know, it doesn't look right to me. I'm pretty sure this is the same dog that Don Cherry has. Good old Blue. And Yeah, it just, I don't know, it looks like a cool dog. It looks like one of those dogs that's happy, but you still won't want to fuck with it. You know what I mean? So just be careful. A collie. Now, a collie is, yeah, it's a dog. It looks very fluffy and hairy. I don't know. It's kind of got like, I mean, like if Farrah Fawcett was a dog, you know, but like her hair was the dog, like, you know what I mean? It's just, it looks very like exaggerated, you know. And of course, you know, people know collies mostly for Lassie. For those of you who don't know, Lassie was a show. It was about a family who would always end up in, you know, getting into shit. And for some reason, the dog was the only person that could save them. I don't know why. I guess they didn't have any local police. But yeah, very good looking dogs. Very, very classy. Newfoundland. Okay, well, I'm from Canada. I didn't know. I didn't know that was a type of breed of dog. I never actually knew that. Yeah, although I've seen this type before. It kind of looks like a furry version of Cujo, sort of. If you know, Cujo is a Stephen King novel, and you know, it's about a dog who just, you know, ends up going nuts. And yeah, you know, like at one point he fights a clown or something. I don't know. The point is, yeah, you know, this dog almost looks like it's literally wearing a coat. You know, it looks like it's on its way to like a, you know, like a ballroom or something, you know. And their eyes are very like, I mean, their face looks, it looks very, I don't know, almost looks sad. I don't know, but then it looks content too. I don't know. Cute dogs. Vizsla. Okay, so this dog, like even judging by the picture, it looks like it's just good at sniffing out shit. It looks like they're very gentle, very chill, you know, but at the same time, they're full of energy, you know. Yeah, very, very friendly. Irish setter. Yeah, kind of looks similar to the Vizsla, just a little bit more hairy, you know. Kind of looks like when you're watching a movie and, you know, a woman is posing into the wind and her hair is just flowing, and yeah, very very classy animal. Told they're you know, very loving and giving. You know, apparently they need lots of exercise, so it's a good match for energetic kids. That's good. Okay. All right. I'm gonna take your word on that. Poodle. Okay. Now, every time you see a poodle, okay, let's just be honest, guys, okay? A poodle, you know, it kind of makes you upset because, you know, the first thing you look at a poodle, I mean, it looks like it's, you know, it looks like it's shit don't stink, you know, but I'm sure the dog doesn't know that, but, you know, the way they cut their hair and, you know, make it all, you know, fluffity fluff there, it drives people nuts. It really does. And it's definitely a high class animal. It's you know, it's one of those animals that you know, want to breed with, you know, with other dogs, and you know, keep them going because they're very high class. You know, they're very elegant, and apparently they're very loyal. So, well, you spend that much for a haircut, yeah, you better fucking be. Labrador Retriever. Now, this seems to be a very popular dog. Of all the dogs I see in this world, and boy, have I traveled the world here and there, and I tend to see this dog the most. You know, this like when you, me personally, when you first think of a dog, like this is the first image you think of. You know, this is your, you know, wonder bread of the dog world. You know, this is like, you know, a dog that, you know, very reliable, playful, patient, loving, protective, you know, take him to a park, you know, you throw the stick, he brings it back, you know, it's a good give and take they have, you know, it's very nice. And of course you have the golden retriever. So, you know what they say, gold is worth more than Labrador. So yeah, it's that classy animal. There's a lot of movies, you see this dog in, and yeah, it's basically the same thing. Just I don't know, made of gold, I guess. So yeah, you know, it's classy. It's nice to have it's nice to have a dog that you just rely on. You know what I mean? Like again, guys, I really have to, you know, I can't stress this enough. Like humans too, they need to be clean. And I know it's a huge pain in the ass to clean a dog. I get it. I think of that scene in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yes, I watch a lot of TV. Anyways, remember when Will and Carlton were like applying for I don't know, the frat house, whatever. They're doing all this weird shit, and I don't know, like Carlton's just trying to wash the dog, and the dog keeps jumping out of the fucking tub, and he's slipping all over the fucking place. I mean, this is before he tries to eat a big fish. But, I thought it was funny. He listens to Barry Manilow. No. He mean Barry White, y'all. But anyways, it's just a pain in the ass, but you got to do it. I mean, they're not like cats. The cats just clean themselves. Cats don't like water. We'll get into that one day. Not now. We're not talking about pussy now. We're talking about dogs and how important is it to keep them clean. And I've literally seen dogs like drag their ass on the carpet. Like that's an old saying, but that's where it comes from. I mean, because I get it. I mean, I guess they can't reach back there. I mean, sometimes they don't have access to toilet paper, and they're just like, fuck it. Like, we see the rug. We don't give a shit. We don't care if this thing is from Walmart or Malaysia, whatever. We're gonna wipe our ass on it, and that is fucking disgusting. And again, like, these dogs will just take a shit wherever they want. They don't care. They're not housebroken. I mean, do you really ever truly, really just break in a dog and say, you know what, man, from now on, you got to shit here, I remember Bruce Almighty. He made the dog shit in the toilet. He's reading the newspaper and everything. I mean, that's great. Like, why can't life be like that? Why can't life be this simple? My parents get a dog, and, the dog is, again, it's kind of a poodle-ish, and it's, it's snobby, and it didn't like me. That's okay. I didn't like her. Rest in peace. And, I'm just saying, my dad knew he didn't want the dog. He couldn't say anything, but they still got to take him out and go pee and shit, and, you got to pick it up. That's another thing, too, guys. You got to pick up your shit, okay? And I get it. For the most part, people are good with that. I get it. But, again, there's something demeaning about picking up a dog's shit, okay? And, like, for a while, I was like, okay, like, let's, get some gloves or something or whatever. And then one time, someone's just going out to walk the dog, and they're like, okay, well, I forgot something. And then they just grab a bag. I'm like, you don't need gloves or nothing? He's like, no. And I'm like, how do you pick it up? He's like, well, you turn the bag inside out, and then you scoop it up like that. I'm like, okay, so you're telling me that the only thing that's keeping you from touching dog shit is literally you and a thin piece of plastic that you got at some grocery store, and you're just hoping that it just doesn't fall apart. I mean, that's horrible. I can't do that. I'm not gonna do that. I got enough trouble wiping my own ass. I don't have time for this shit. Literally, I just can't do it. And these dog walkers too. Like, I see some of these dudes. They go out there and they got like 5, 6, 7 dogs all in one thing. I don't know if the dogs are overstimulated. I mean, they think it's just one big fucking walk party. And I'm thinking to myself, there's no way this guy is picking up that much shit. There's no way. There's no fucking way. He knows exactly where to go. He knows he's going to a certain part of the park no one ever goes. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. And these guys are making like $20 an hour. All right, so I don't know. I guess I'm the asshole, but I'm just saying, like, like we gotta train our dogs to shit. Like we train cats. Again, cats are awesome. They go in the box. They know. You help them sniff around there. Okay, go there. Oh, all right, guy. Cool. And that's it. Like if it's minus fucking 30 in these fucking Canadian winters and it's snowing and the dog's got to go and then I've heard stories where like people are just so lazy they just put the newspaper on the ground and they teach the dog to go there and it's like what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Really? Is it really worth it having a dog? Really? I don't know. I'm not seeing it. And another problem I got a lot of problems, but another problem I got is when the dog goes onto a bus. Now, again, like I said before, same thing with a plane. It's got to be in a kennel, okay? If it's a little dog you can put in your purse or in carry it, I get that. That's cool. That's fine. But you know what? Like I don't need to see these big ass dogs, on this bus and just fucking shit up, I remember one time I'm on the bus because insurance is way too high for cars in Toronto. And I'm like, okay, so the big dog's coming on. Where's he going? Where's this going to go? Is he going on top? Is he going to the bottom? Is he like, what's going to happen here? So, right before the upper level, there's those two seats in the back there. You're close to the door, whatever. The dog just goes right on top there. Just jumps right on top. First of all, I don't think dogs should be allowed actually on the seat. Okay, that's just me. Maybe I'll get some shit for that, but I'm just telling you that should not happen. So this dog is on the seat. Okay, now it's a sunny day. It's sunny through the window. Whatever you see, like all the shit flying in the air, all the particles, whatever. He's doing the whole shake there, whatever, and like all these hairs are just flying all over the place. I'm not saying I'm a germaphobe or nothing, but I mean. That ain't right, man. And again, it's a dog. It doesn't know. Yeah, I know, whatever. But I'll tell you what the owner should know is when at one point the dog is just drooling, like big buckets of drool, man. What's that movie with Tom Hanks? Turner and Hooch. Great fucking movie. I miss Tom Hanks in the 80s doing all these crazy comedies and dealing with crazy neighbors and fighting volcanoes. Anyways, he's just fucking drooling all over. I mean, this big glob of drool. Like, same thing in that movie. Like, he just wakes up with a big thing of drool. And, like, the dog's just drooling on the seat. Just, it's there. Someone is eventually going to sit in it. It's like early in the afternoon. It's not even rush hour yet. That bus is going to be packed. Someone's going to just sit in there and think they pissed their pants. That's not cool, man. And like the owner's not doing nothing. I'm looking at the owner like, really? Come on, man. Like do something, Put some newspaper down. I mean, just whatever, man. Have some decency. Have some self-respect for you and your dog. Just put something there. I mean, come on, man. Bow, wow, wow, yippee, yo, yippee, yay. Wake the fuck up and do something about it today. Jesus. But, anyways, not all dogs are pains in the ass. I grew up loving Garfield. He had a great buddy named Odie. He didn't talk much. Kind of reminded me of later on in life, Pinky and the Brain. He did talk more, but whatever. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just saying that a dog can be loyal, even to a cat, a human. It's a fucking cartoon, I know, guys. I'm not stupid. I'm just saying in general, There's a good loyalty there with dogs, and I actually do respect that. There's actually a thing online, though, where they actually tested certain dogs. And, they always say, oh, it's good to have a dog in case there's a break-in. The dog's going to, apparently, get superpowers all of a sudden and beat the shit out of the robber, Most of these dogs didn't give a shit. They're just sitting there like, hey, how's it going? Oh, it's good, whatever. I go visit my parents, visit my cat. Shout out to Johnny. What's going on, buddy? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you during your 8-hour nap. But anyways, he just looks at me. Even if something happens in the middle of the night, like he just kind of looks and whatever, it's cool. That's it. But I expect that from a cat because cats don't give a fuck. A dog though should give more of a fuck. If they see a robber, break in. If you see someone you don't recognize, at least give me a bark. Let me know something. Cookie crisp. Just fucking like say some kind of thing. I'll be upstairs. I'll get my well, we'll call it a bat for legal purposes, and just I'll handle the rest. It's cool. But if you can hold him down, that'd be cool. You could bite him in the arm, shin, anything below the waist. That's because then it's not considered a real attack. But anyways, I'm just saying. We think dogs are always going to save us, but they're not, But then they have these dogs that they train, and holy shit, they got to be the smartest dogs in the world, Like a dog that will help, a blind person onto the bus or, just around in general. That's cool, they're very loyal, Apparently, you cannot give them treats. I learned this in Road Trip when Stifler was giving the dog treats, and the one lady there got really pissed off. But so just they're very well trained. And there's one video I saw of this dog in the police department, whatever. And these fuckers, they go through a lot of training. Like there's a point where a dog is walking on like a rope, which I didn't even think was possible. And they go through a lot of training, and that's why I feel dogs are very important in our society, just because of like that reason alone. I was thinking of that scene in Menace to Society where it's just funny because like the cops are after these guys, they're trying to steal a car underneath the parking lot, whatever, and then they just let the dogs go. The guys run behind a car, but of course the dogs just sniff him out like that, and just find him right away and just fuck him up. You're like, oh, we give up, fuck out, and I've heard a lot of dogs, obviously they got that strong sense of smell. It can be so powerful that they've said a story where a dog one time can smell whale poop from almost a mile away. Now, I don't know if that's underwater. I'm assuming whale poop. That shit ain't floating for sure, But that's pretty strong. And I remember one time I watched an episode of Unsolved Mysteries, and they just followed this dog like forever. It just seemed like for miles and miles and miles. And eventually he, got to a certain point where he smelled whatever the person scent, whatever. And I think they got him, So, and then you hear there's other stories where, the dog is just like left in the middle of nowhere, and the family will move, and they forget the dog, which by the way, I think that's bullshit. But anyways, I don't know, you fucking forget a dog. But anyways, just say you don't want the dog. Again, don't dump these dogs on the street, man. They're they're not human beings, but gee, fuck, let's try to rise up in this society, shall we? But anyways, literally, like a dog will cross, like all these cities, and eventually, like years later, even like they'll get back to their owner, and they'll just show up on the door. It's like that episode of Seinfeld. Remember that? They dropped off the dog that was pissing off Elaine, and it came back. Again, guys, I know it's a TV show, but I'm sure it's based on an actual story, Maybe not Elaine herself, but someone, Just saying. I'm also just saying that dogs are very well trained, like I said before. And a lot of these guys, they basically become actors. You see the one dog in Beethoven there, big dog, very lovable, nice little cute movie. You got Lady and the Tramp. You know, you got some dogs out there just, you know, all they care about is getting laid and eating pasta. Again, this sounds like me. This is, okay. Anyways, Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey. I remember this movie. Two dogs, a cat, they get lost. Again, they're, you know, trying to get home. I think it's based on a true story. I'm pretty sure. Again, I'm not going to do the research. You go ahead for yourself. Air Bud, it's a dog that plays basketball. Yeah, I'm not buying that shit either. Marley and Me. I've never seen this movie. I heard it has a very sad ending. You know, I'm pretty sure it ended like Old Yeller did. But anyways, Turner and Hooch. I mentioned that before. Tom Hanks, can you give us some comedies again? I mean, like, I love you, man. I'm looking forward to watching you as Mr. Rogers. I mean, I saw that trailer. That looks, you know, oof, that looks, it looks funny and weird just how much he fucking looks like him. But anyways, you know, I don't know. I like Money Pit. You know, you got Benji. Benji! Not the one from Howard Stern. The actual dog. I never watched it. Judging by the poster, he looks pretty happy with his flowers. That's cool. Yeah, 101 Dalmatians. Somebody should have bought this dog some condoms. I mean, I don't know how this is possible. This could happen, but yeah, it's all right. And yeah, that looks. No, there's Beverly Hills Chihuahua. Snow Dogs. Wow, they came up with some really stupid movies. Hotel for Dogs. What the fuck? Cujo again, like I said. You know, there's a movie for the whole family. Best in Show. That is funny. That's it's got a lot of the people from SCTV. Good cast of people. It's just a farce on the whole like dog show thing, which is something I to this day don't understand. Like the whole dog show thing. I mean, like again, this is something that does not make us look, you know, like cool as a society. That we're like, you know, like we're having contests for dogs. We're buying clothes for dogs. We're buying them fucking Halloween costumes. What the fuck are we doing? I mean, guys, there's people starving out there, man. I mean, fuck. I mean, not me. I'm good. But I'm just saying, like, okay, whatever. White Fang, very good story. Check it out. I watched that when I was a kid. I don't want to give a lot away, but that's a very good movie. What else we got here? For some reason, they list Wizard of Oz as a dog movie. Why? That's weird. Okay. Iron Will. That's an awesome movie. That is a cool movie. It's based on a true story about a dude who enters a race. Again, I don't want to give a lot away, whatever, but that's a really good movie. The Mask. Yeah, you know what? That was a cool movie that had a dog in it. Yeah, the dog. Actually, it's funny is the dog apparently was not even in the comics. I think they just wrote it in the movie because I don't know, they just needed some kind of sidekick. And what's better than a cute dog? So, you know. But that happens. I mean, you know, I say same thing in TV shows. You know, they got the classics like, you know, Mr. Snoopy. Not Mr. Snoopy. I call him. His name's Snoopy, and he's got a bird named Woodstock for some reason. I don't know. I guess he likes to party hard. And you know, what's great about Snoop is he was, you know, always very confident. You know, but he didn't really come across as a dick, which is good. You know, which is it's a very thin line to dance on, but like he was able to pull it off. You know, he always made Charlie Brown look like an asshole, but I always felt that Charlie Brown, I think he went around self-pity for himself, but that's a whole different story. The point is, a dog should, you know, always help you out, make you feel good, you know. Don't you love listening to Snoop Dogg? I mean, look at Snoop Dogg, like what he's done in his career. I mean, this guy is not even like a rap icon. He's a music icon. He finally got a star on the Walk of Fame, like just whatever, a couple months ago. I was surprised, and not because he got one, but I was like, how come you didn't get this like 20 years ago? Like, I mean, the fuck's going on here? I don't know. Like, how do we live in a world where Ryan Seacrest got a star on the Walk of Fame, or even has a star on the Walk of Fame, but Snoop Dogg had to wait, like 30 years later after his career? I mean, I don't know, fuck. But if you don't know who Snoop Dogg is, you're an idiot. Snoop is one of the best rappers of all time. He's come up with God only knows how many albums. He's still going strong. He's got his GGN News that he does on YouTube there. The little, I guess you could call it kind of a podcast, whatever. Rapper, actor. I loved him in Training Day, Smelled like bacon in this motherfucker. What do I look like, a sucker to you? Fuck you, rookie. Oh. Anyways, love Snoop, man. DMX, love that motherfucker. Just cause I love I'm not saying the word. What are you, fucking crazy? The point is, that dude is awesome. Okay, I know he's had his troubles with the law. I get it, but that guy is one of the best rappers of all time. Whenever he performs, he's the only guy on stage. And you might say, oh, what's the big deal in that? Every time a lot of these rappers always perform, they got like 10 guys on the mic. You can't understand what the fuck anybody's saying. DMX goes on there. It's just him. One of my favorite songs of all time from DMX is a song he did with Funkmaster Flex called Do You. Now, listen to the lyrics in that song. The beat is awesome. That's a very underrated track. If you ever got a chance, check it out. It's funny, too, with DMX. I heard the story, how he got his name, because I always wondered what DMX stood for. And apparently he was at a buddy's house. He saw the initials DMX on whatever, a turntable. And he said, that sounds cool. That's my name. So, like, knowing DMX and just how he is, that seems right to me, and it is cool. And, of course, like those two dudes, that I just mentioned, they both love dogs. I mean, DMX got his tattoo of the dog he lost on his body. Nate Dogg is Snoop Dogg's cousin. Rest in peace. He's got him tattooed on his body as well. If you don't know who Nate Dogg is, again, you're an idiot. Really, guys? Really? I'm in the middle of fucking thing here. Really? See, this is what happens when you do a podcast live, Shit like this happens. But I digress. Anyways, Nate Dogg, basically the king of the hooks, okay? Even Akon said that. It's not him, it's Nate Dogg. And you need a song, let's say you got a rap song that's like a 6 or 7, you want that to be a 10, you get Nate Dogg to sing the chorus. That's it. So rest in peace to Nate Dogg. We miss you, man. I love you. And thanks for all the great music. I really appreciate it, honestly. One of my favorite tracks by him is with him and Warren G. Regulate, of course. It's just a classic tune, I forgot to mention, too, with Snoop Dogg, I love Drop It Like It's Hot. What's my name? 1, 2, 3, into the foe. I'm going to stop rapping because I don't want Snoop Dogg to beat me at my door. But I'm just saying, these guys, they all love their dogs. And, obviously, they put it in their names. And, because like a dog is a strong animal, It's, like I said, I'm just not the biggest fan of dogs. And, it's, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've never really told this story before to anybody, so it's what better time to do it than on a podcast. So like I said before, there's 2 reasons why. I shouldn't say I don't like dogs, but dogs, every time I see a dog, my guard's up. So I'll just be honest with you. When I was younger, my mom was attacked by a dog, and my mom was laid up for a while. And, she was just visiting my grandma, her mom, and this fucking asshole owner, had no idea what his dog was capable of. He didn't have him on a leash, of course, nothing, and just fucking attacked my mom. And you know, and the sad thing is, they tried to sue the guy, and the guy just took off. We don't know where he went. We assume he went, maybe Western Canada or something. We heard he went to Edmonton, Calgary, something like that. I mean, like, who knows? I mean, the guy literally just fucking took off, didn't give a name, nothing, so, I mean, to this day, it still pisses me off that happened. Like, it really pisses me off, man. I mean, like, for someone to mess with a woman, period, like, physically really pisses me off. But you mess with my mom, like, I mean, oof, man, we got a fucking problem, And yeah, to this day, it still makes me, kind of iffy around dogs. Like, I don't know, You really don't know. I mean, it is an animal, you'd like to give it the benefit of a doubt, You look at a movie like A Dog's Way Home, you look at the cover, he looks all cute, he's in the shoe, he's chewing on the shoelace, he's got the, the eyes, and, but then, you think otherwise, man. You might, maybe this dog will grow up to fucking choke me in my sleep. I don't know. I mean, the odds of that are rare, but I'm just saying, like, you don't know. So that's one of the main reasons why I don't like dogs, and, of course, like I said before, the way you're treated as, like when you're younger and when you're growing up, I mean, or situations that you deal with, of course, they're going to affect you in the future, and it's the same thing with dogs too, if they're abused and if they're not treated right. I mean, clearly this fucking asshole, like, did not treat his dog well, or not well trained at all, to just, stay put, and it's fucked up, man. Like, it really is. To this day, it still pisses me off, and yeah, it just I'm really sorry that my mom had to go through that, and I mean, it's crazy today. I mean, to think, okay, if it happened today, like, worst case, you could, like, you got a camera, on your phone, video and all that. And, back then it was like, hey, man, if you unless you get a name and, the fucker takes off, then you're screwed. So, so yeah, it to this day, it makes me, think twice about dogs, But again, it's like anything else. You don't want one bad situation to, affect everybody or every dog in this case. But, yeah, it's always on my mind. So, it's just something I always got to think about. Now, the second reason why I hate dogs is it's because of duck hunt. Now, let me explain this one. For those of you who grew up an old school gamer like me, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, the golden age of gaming, where, like, video games are just exploding, and it was just fucking awesome just to be a part of that. Now, when you got Nintendo, we didn't buy Nintendo for a while. We just kept renting it, it's cheaper or whatever, because back then you didn't know. I mean, you don't know if this is going to be a fad, or, this is going to keep going here, and you're like, fuck it, let's just take a couple chances, and eventually you're gonna pass the game, you get sick of it, so you don't fucking need it, who cares? But anyways, the Nintendo system, the original NES, Nintendo Entertainment System, came with a free game, Mario, Super Mario Brothers. It's in my top 10. I believe it's number 10. It's a classic game. You can still play it today, and I love it. I don't care. I really don't care. I try not to use warps, that I like to challenge myself. But anyways, then later on, it came with two games. It was a 2-in-1 cartridge. For those of you who are under the age of 10 or 15 or 20 or whatever, I'll teach you what a cartridge is later. That's okay. Don't worry. It's very much like a cassette tape or a VHS. It's a big thing of plastic. Somehow plays cool shit. But anyways, then it came with two games, Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. Now, Duck Hunt is a game where you use the actual gun, which I think at the time it did come with the system. I mean, nowadays, I don't know, you buy a system, I don't know, you got to buy the plug, the games, you got to buy Everything. Everything you gotta buy. My pockets are empty, guys. Anyways, so the whole point of this game is that you use the gun, which at the time was gray. Then they thought it looked too real. Yeah, because a big plastic toy looks really real, light gray. But anyways, and then they made it orange, whatever. I don't know. Yeah, because that makes it less threatening, I guess. You point at the screen. It starts off with just the... what am I saying? It's just Nintendo. All they had was a thing of grass there, the little thing there. They had the dog walking on there. He'd sniff around, then he'd jump in the grass. And then I think 2 ducks came out, or 3. I don't know. It's been a while since I played it because I fucking hate this game. And, again, I don't know. They said there was a secret where you put it against a light bulb and it automatically worked. But the thing was so fucking sensitive. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. My dad kicked ass in it. I don't know why. My dad's a smart guy. He knows what to do. He knows how to figure shit out. But then again, he was trained with Atari. So for him, this was just like a walk in the park. My dad one time beat me in chess 3 moves. I'm very ashamed of that. The point is, he knew what to do. I didn't. So, of course, I would always miss. You're only given 3 bullets because a gun that size can only hold 3 bullets, apparently. And every time you would miss, the dog would just laugh at you. Now, I would always get pissed off at this. Now, I'm not going to lie. I would use all 3 bullets every time that dog showed up, and I would just try to blast him. That's it. And then the next round, I just see the ducks flying there. And then, of course, I see the dog again. Fucker. So, that dog has haunted me in my dreams. Although it does make me happy to see that I actually did get a duck, and then he, that's cool. I got one at least. But yeah, those are the 2 main reasons why I'm not a big fan of dogs. But at the same time, I still respect dogs. I don't want anything bad to happen to dogs. I just want your dog to be well trained. One time I was doing a job, and in the background there's one guy holding a dog, a girl with a dog, and they're just talking, oh, my dog's the best behaved. Oh, my dog's the best behaved. And then the one dog, just like reacts to the other dog, just goes nuts. And then the other dog goes nuts, like, oh my God, he's never done this before. Oh. It's a fucking dog. It's gonna do that. Just do your research, guys. Do your research. Okay? Make sure, if you're the average family and you're gonna buy a dog, it's cute, I get it, but just know how to treat the dog. And if you know deep down you're not ready for a dog, don't get a fucking dog. Just don't get it just to say you have it. Okay? It's not jewelry. It's a fucking human animal, and well, it's not a human animal, but it's an animal that has human characteristics in it. And I don't know, I've never seen a dog walk like Puss in Boots on 2 legs, and I don't know what the fuck they actually put in hot dogs. I mean, I don't know if it's actual pigeons like the Simpsons say, but just do your research. That's all. But dogs are fun. We once had a dog over our house, and somebody had a shirt on hanging on the chair there, and then the dog just dry humped the shit out of it, and you had to probably wash it after. But you know what? It's cool. It's cool. That's what dogs are meant to do. They're just meant to be dogs. It's like DMX said, let a dog roam and he'll find his way home. That's it. Where my dog's at? I'm right here, dog. Where my dog's at? I'm right here, dog. Snoop Doggy Dog. If you smoke like I smoke, then you high like every day. And if your ass is a buster, 213 will regulate. All I'm trying to say is, do your research on dogs. And do not mistreat man's best friend.